We've got the 2-inch lift on. We've got the Falken Wildpeak 265 7017. So we should have about 3 inches extra of ground clearance, I would think. But, you know, you don't know until you measure it out. So let's go ahead and measure this out and see what we've got. All right, so let's get our final measurements here. 13 1/4. Real well. 35 3/4. 14 1/4. 35 1/2. Front skid plate. Right. Looks like 12 even. Alright. So I'll do the math and I'll give that to you in just a second. But we should have gotten around 3 inches of clearance after the Hazard Sky 2-inch lift level kit and the 265 7017s were installed. So that's what we're hoping for, 3 inches. That's what I want. So just trying to get a little pre-lift footage so we can kind of see what it's gonna. Yeah, that's fine. So we can see what it looks like before it's raised and after. And then when you.
Hi.
That way.
Hi. Hi.
Okay. Walk with your brother.
Hi, camera.
Hi, camera. Okay, so this is what it looks like before the lift is put on, and then we'll do it after it's on. So. Got the ground clearance of it.
You don't take the wheels on?
Not yet, but we will.
The back wheels are enough. The other ones are bigger than those. The back wheels are bigger than those.
Alright. So final portion of this video on the tires. So just want to give you at least, somewhat of the same angle and the same approach, the same, the same little bit of trail, so that you can make your own comparisons on. So now we have the 2-inch Hazard Sky lift and level kit on, and we have the Falken Wildpeaks, the AT3W 265 7017s, and they're a little rub, but we're gonna fix that here pretty quick. So let's give you a little quick walk around of it so you can see the difference. Whoop. There's front end. Back. I'll have to say overall the stance is awesome on this thing. I love it. I mean, you know, for some reason to me, I always think of a Warthog. I don't know why, but it's just it just looks stout, you know. It just looks awesome. So yeah, if you're thinking about putting on the lift, if you're thinking about putting on the bigger tires, you know, just go to the video, go check out how to install that lift. Then you have this video on the bigger tires getting installed, and you can see where the rub happens and what you're kind of gonna have to deal with. All right, so hey, if you like the video, hit that thumbs up button, give us a like, appreciate it. Also, if you have any comments, any questions, put them in that comment section there. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And also, hey, we're gonna be hitting the trails. We're gonna be doing some more on this overlanding build for the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk, the 2015. If you're interested in that stuff, if you want to see some more of that content, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate it. Have a good one. All right, so I was pretty much finished with the video. I was very happy with how it turned out. But as I was watching it, I realized that, you know, I really didn't show you where the rub was at. I showed it whenever it was on the lift and when the tires were getting put on, just to show you what kind of rub I was getting on the fender well cover whenever it was installed. Now, I did this on purpose. I didn't want to cut out too big of a portion of that fender liner. Just personally, I prefer to keep as much intact as possible. And then also, I've talked to a couple people, or on Facebook, I've discussed it with a couple people, and I decided what I really want to do is just heat up that fender cover, fender liner, and mold it back, as opposed to cutting it out. Just seems like it'd be a cleaner deal than cutting it out, if I can do that. If I can't get that to work, then I'll go ahead and cut it out. Because I've had the tires on for a little over a week now. So also, I had the opportunity, also kicking around lug nuts. So I've had the tires on for a little over a week now, and this Saturday I was looking around on Gaia GPS trying to find some trails locally, because I'm still exploring, trying to find some places to go that are nearby, that are within a couple hours. Found a trail. It was a ton of fun though, because we've had a lot of rain lately. We've had some snow, so there's some nice big mud puddles to splash through, some muddy areas, a little bit of rock to play on, and I'm extremely pleased with how these tires are performing. Like I say, the good thing about getting it off in the muddy trail is you can really see where it's rubbing. You can see where the dirt was at, where the mud was at, and kind of where it's rubbed it off. It's honestly not that bad. So if we look under here, this is in the front wheel well. I've already removed the tire. Right there, you can clearly see where it's rubbing. It's not even really rubbing too far down. It's maybe slightly rounded that off, but not bad. So, seems to me like really you ought to be able to heat that up and just get a little portion of that pushed back. And you can see with my finger there about how deep that is. So, I think that's very doable. I don't think that'll take much. Now, let's look in the front here. I haven't really noticed any rub in the front. Now, we look in the rear here, and, you know, the wheel looks like it's a little off-centered, and I know you can get the wheel centering kits, but from my understanding, that was more for non-Trailhawk models. But you can see it's pretty tight. Once again, you can kind of see my finger in there. But fit seems to be really good. And these are the 265/70 17s, so one concern I had was just the depth of them. You know, how much space am I going to have back here? Seems like plenty. All right, so here was one of my biggest concerns with the tires. That's kind of bright. Kind of get that where you can actually see it, maybe like that. Yeah, one of my biggest concerns with putting on bigger tires prior to putting the lift on was just this right here. Look here. I mean, that's straight under that. So you take the 2 inches off for the lift, let me get my light back. Take the 2 inches off for the lift. Yeah, I mean, that's less than 1.5 inches. I don't know if you can see that. It's less than 1.5 inches of clearance. So without that 2-inch lift, this tire would be rubbing on that underside. I don't know who it was on Facebook that said you didn't need a lift to fit 32s on, but I think they're full of it. I'm assuming they probably haven't ever put on bigger tires on their Trailhawk. So just wanted to show you that, make sure everybody kind of understands, yeah, you're going to need a lift if you want to put on 32s, or these aren't even 32s. These are 31.7 or something like that. So yeah, you need the lift if you're going to go that big. All right. Hope that information's helpful, useful to anybody out there wanting to modify their Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. I love it.